Hi everyone, hope you all are safe and sound. I am Miss Debomita De, a science teacher working in an innovative learning platform which is online, eTutors for Me. eTutors for Me is very unique because here you can choose your own tutors. I am going to tell you all about a biological topic which is very interesting. Inheritance. Now, inheritance is the transmission of genetic characters from one generation to another. You look like your parents because of inheritance. Here is a photograph of some cats where you can see they exactly look like each other because they have inherited this from their parents. In inheritance, today I am going to cover this topics: chromosomes and genes, cell division by mitosis and meiosis, alleles and genes, sex-linked inheritance, how to use genetic diagrams to predict the features of offsprings. Now, all organisms, including ourselves, are made of microscopic cells. Cells are the structural and functional units of the body. Each cell consists of cell organelles like nucleus. You can see the picture of nucleus here. Then endoplasmic reticulum, which is there inside. Then Golgi apparatus, lysosomes. Then there is mitochondria. There are small vacuoles. There is cytoplasm and so many other granules which are present in a cell. Among this, the nucleus is very important because it is present in all animal cells except in the red blood cells. When you are operating a computer, you know the CPU of the computer is the controlling center of the computer. In the same way, this nucleus is the controlling center of the cell. Now, nucleus of every cell consists of long thread-like structures which are known as chromosomes. These chromosomes, you can see here the picture of chromosomes. These chromosomes are very thin and they cannot be seen with bare eyes. But when they divide, they become short and thick. Each chromosome consists of very long molecules of DNA which is not visible here in this picture, and the DNA carries a code that instructs the cell about which kind of protein it should make. A part of the DNA molecule coding for one protein is known as a gene. The gene on your chromosomes determine your eye color, your hair pattern, your nose pattern, your complexion, and even the genetic diseases which you inherit from your parents. Now, human beings began their life as a single cell. First, a zygote was formed by the fusion of an egg and a sperm cell. The eggs are produced by the females and the sperm cells are produced by the males. Now, the nuclei of each gamete contains a single set of chromosomes, that is 23 only. As you all know that an adult consists of 46 chromosomes. So, whenever these 23 chromosomes, whenever they fuse together, they form a zygote which consists of 46 chromosomes. A cell with a single set of chromosomes is known as a gamete or a haploid cell. The cell with two sets of chromosomes is known as a diploid cell. Now, chromosomes are generally found in pairs which are known as homologous chromosomes. If you can see here, they are in pairs. These are known as homologous chromosomes. Now, a homologous chromosome consists of identical chromosomes. The chromosomes, if you see the arrangement of the chromosome in the human body, this is known as the karyotype. Now, the arrangement is known as the karyotype. In this karyotype, you will find the bigger ones first, and then comes at the end comes the smaller one. Now, in each pair of chromosome, one is from person's mother, you can see two chromosomes together. These are known as homologous chromosomes, which are identical, which are same. Now one of this chromosome comes from the mother and the other comes from the father. In human cells, there are 23 pair of chromosomes. Out of this, 22 are autosomes or vegetative cells, which are responsible for the growth of your vegetative organs. Vegetative means other than sex organs, other than your genitals. Out of this, 22 pairs are vegetative chromosomes, or known as autosomes, and one pair is the sex chromosome. You will find the sex chromosome here, the sex chromosomes. Now during cell division, the nucleus divides by two processes. One is mitosis and the other is meiosis. The autosomes, that is the characters which are responsible for your external features other than the sex organs, like your height, your face characters, or your complexion, all these are divided by the process of mitosis, while the sex chromosomes divide by the process of meiosis. Mitosis gives rise to genetically identical cells. How genetically identical we can say? Because suppose you get hurt and the upper layer of your skin has gone, then again the same cells will grow, identical cells will grow. It's not that you have got hurt in one part of your arm and when new cells grow or the new skin comes out, it looks totally different from the other hand. It's not like that. So these are all caused by mitosis, while meiosis gives rise to genetically unidentical cells, that is the male or the female cells. Now in inheritance, each gene is in a pair is known as an allele. You can see here allele is here. Now here you can see each gene. Suppose this is a gene for your complexion. Now or your hair color. Whatever it is, you can take an example. Now this is a gene. Now this gene is present in both the chromosomes in the same point, and each gene is here, both are making one gene, and each chromosome here is known as an allele. So each chromosome is known as allele. Each gene is responsible for a particular character of all living things. So here I can say that this particular gene is responsible for your, say, hair pattern. So here also it is the same, here also it is the same. So here the gene in all your cells will be present, but will be present in the same locus, in the same point. Now when a particular gene for fair complexion, suppose, have two identical alleles, they are known as homozygous. They are identical. If you see here, they are identical. Here see, it is G, capital G, capital G. Both are in capitals. Then this is known as homozygous gene, because the alleles are both in capital letters, capital G, capital G. You can take any of the capital letters. You can take F, you can take small f, you can take B, you can take small b, anything you can take, but the other one also should be in the small letters. Now this is known as homozygous allele. The other one you can see here is heterozygous, because here we can see one chromosome is having capital G and the other chromosome is having small g. So this is heterozygous. This is again homozygous, because both the chromosomes you can see are having small g, small g. So this homozygous chromosomes are also known as purebred, and heterozygous are known as hybrid. It is known as hybrid. Now the genetic composition of living things, this genetic composition where you can see GG or G small g are known as the genotypes of the organisms. The genotypes, the gene composition of an organism, gene composition of a man or a living organism is known as genotype. And this gene is producing hair pattern, or I have taken the example of hair pattern. So here it is producing the hair pattern. So this hair pattern is your external character. This external character is known as phenotype. So there are two things, one is genotype and the other one is phenotype. Now sometimes in some generations an allele of a gene may be expressed if it is present, like here you can see capital G. So capital G is dominant. Dominant means the one which is expressed. One which is expressed. Suppose in your house everything is running according to your father's will. So your father is the dominant character in your house. So here your father's will, everything is happening in your house. So here also whatever this capital letter, capital G is deciding, that character will be shown. If the capital G is showing hair pattern, if it is showing woolly hair, the children will have woolly hair. If small g is having straight hair, it won't be expressed because it is not dominant. Now here also, because G is dominant and it shows woolly hair will be expressed. In this chromosome we can see both are small g, small g. Now this is small because it is small letters. It is expressing a recessive character. It is recessive. If dominant is not present, then its character will be produced. Suppose it is producing straight hair. So the children, those who are having small g, will have straight hair. Okay. Now each gamete has only one of each kind of chromosomes. When will the gametes be formed? During meiosis. Only during meiosis. Even during mitosis gametes are formed, but they are all identical. But in meiosis they are not identical, as I have told you all. They are different. When the division occurs, they are non-identical. Now each gamete has only one kind of chromosome. Example, human egg and sperm cells have 23 chromosomes. Then it doesn't form 46 chromosomes. 46 chromosomes are forming when both the egg and the sperm, they fuse and they form the zygote, which has 46 chromosomes. So when they are having 23 chromosomes in the gamete, they will carry only one pair, they will carry only one character. So they will carry only one pair of genes. Now in the karyotype, the last pair, here the karyotype is hidden inside. The last pair consists of the sex chromosome. Now sex chromosomes are, the sex chromosomes are responsible for determining a person's sex. A woman's chromosome are both alike. You can see here a woman's chromosome, both are X and X. While in case of male, it is X and Y. And it is non-identical. You can see it is small. So in women, if you see, if you have the character in women, the woman will carry XX character, while the man will carry XY character, XX and XY. So in villages, people always blame the lady for giving birth to a girl child. But if we solve it through genetic problems, we see it's actually the male who is responsible, because he contributes either the X gamete or the Y gamete, resulting in female or male child respectively. Okay, now we take a simple example of sex linkage as an inherited character. Okay, now we take the example of, let us take the example of color blindness. Now we have seen that most of the chromosomes have 2 copies of each one, but this does not happen in sex chromosomes. Here we can see, wherever they are seeing the karyotype, it is same. It is same. And in the sex chromosome also, it is same only in case of female, but not in case of male. Now here you can see that Y chromosome is small and has few genes, but X chromosome is larger and it has more genes. An interesting example is color blindness, which occurs mostly in men. Now let us find out how it occurs in men only. Okay, now let us see how color blindness is sex-linked character and why it occurs mostly in man than in women. Okay, now here we have taken the genotypes and phenotypes. I told you all that genotypes means the genetic constituent and phenotype means the external characters. So here we are taking X. X means 2 female, 2X means it is a female. So here capital B is a dominant character which is normal. Let us take capital B as normal. So we write here capital B is equal to normal, while small b is equal to colorblind. Let small b be colorblind. So here we have taken a woman who is normal. So woman with normal vision. Next we have taken a woman because both are X, so it will be a woman. So woman with a carrier gene, that is colorblind gene is there, but it is small b, so it is a recessive character. So here the woman is again a carrier. Why she is called a carrier? Because this b is not expressed, as I have explained to you all, that only when capital B is not there, then small b will be expressed, because capital B is a dominant character and small b is a recessive character. So though this woman is carrying a capital B and a small b, color blindness will not be expressed because the normal is capital B. So this woman is a carrier woman. Next we have X and Y. X and Y means a male. Now the male has capital B, only one capital B, because Y is not carrying any of the genes. Now this capital B is again normal, so this man will have normal vision or a normal man. Now X, small b and Y. This small b again represents color blind. So this man who is carrying small b will be a colorblind man. Why? Because XY stands for a man and the small b is color blindness. So this man will be a colorblind man. Now let us use a genetic diagram to show how color blindness occurs mostly in males. So we take two parents. One is a normal male who marries a carrier woman. Carrier means she has the genes of color blindness, but that is not expressed. Then the parents' genotypes will be XY, which is the male, will have a normal capital B because it is a normal gene, and the woman will have a normal capital B and a small b because she is a carrier. Now the gametes formed will be XBY and XB because this is a male and this is a female. Now in the F1 generation, or the first filial generation, or the generation where the children will be produced, the offsprings produced will be found with the help of a square which we call as Punnett square. Punnett is the name of the scientist who has found this out, and here I am just writing the gametes XB and Y, and here I am putting the female gametes, that is X capital B and X small b. Now when XB crosses with this, it is forming a normal female child. Then when this XB crosses with this one, it is forming a carrier female child. When XB crosses with Y, it is forming a normal boy child. When XB crosses with Y, it forms a colorblind child. So there is a probability that if the person has 4 children, 3 will be normal. This one is totally normal. One girl will be totally normal. Other one will be the carrier, but color blindness will not be expressed. The boy will again be normal, but one boy will be a colorblind boy. Now out of 4 children, 3 will be normal, 1 will be colorblind. If the man and the lady has 1 child, then there is a probability that it can be the boy. If it is a boy, then it will be a colorblind boy or a normal boy. But if 2 girls are there or 1 girl is there, she will be a normal one. So I hope you all understood how this some characters like color blindness are all linked to sex genes. So children, if you like me, if you like my teaching, then please follow me in eTutor for me in Instagram, Facebook and YouTube videos. Thank you.